Hey there, Todd. How are you doing today? It's so good to see you.
Oh, it's so good to see you too, Miss Laura. Happy to be here.
Always a joy, always. So, we are here. We've got this amazing book launch coming in November, and
Yeah.
you are a contributing author to this book. You've got a couple of stories in the book, and I know people are going to love the story. I have the stories. I have been looking forward to this interview so much. So, I would love for you to tell everyone that might be watching a little bit about Todd so they can get to know you the way I know you and love you. So, Todd, tell them who you are, where you live in, and what you do. Prefer a little bit about your personal, a little bit about your professional, so they can get to know you.
Yes, I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky. Actually, I grew up out in the country just outside of Louisville, and oldest of five kids, which always seemed like to put a lot of responsibility on my shoulders. Being the older brother. With that said, I moved into arena of healthcare and nursing. I did that for 12 years and come from a large, family, love my family. I had a son at a very young age. Anyway, just after a series of events and, life happens, life just seemed like, I needed a change in life, but I kept feeling this underlying journey calling me. And I kept feeling like I'm going to move away at some point. There's someplace else that I'm going to continue this journey and grow. And so I had a dream one night after feeling this for quite a while. And I had a dream that I was to move to some place called Tucson, Arizona. I got up and I don't think there was Google then, but I did a search and I was like, that's where I got to go. And so my family all thought I was crazy. And they're like, are you really doing this? And I took 8 months and sold all my belongings and bought a truck and a hitch and put my car in there. And I drove out to Tucson, Arizona. And that was 13 years ago. So I got into the world. I left the world of nursing, went on and did caretaking in the catering world. You're taking care of people in the food world as
Sure,
well.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking after them. It just seemed like I was always there, meeting and serving other people in their needs. And I don't know. And with that said, life happened. It was good, and some complacency took place, and I started having these longings and discontents. And I thought, you know what, I really should honor what I've always wanted to do, and that's create a real estate business. And COVID helped push me into that position, and um, I started looking to create a real estate business. And anyway, after meeting you, I launched it. So thank you.
Well, of course. And I remember that dream. Oh my gosh. I remember talking about it. And I remember how you just jumped in with both feet. You faced your fear. You stepped out in faith, and you took the empowered action steps. It was so fun to watch. So, with that said, tell everyone how we met and kind of how our journeys. We are actually still working together. You're in my Monday Night Life Mastery group with about 10 to 12 other people. So, tell everyone kind of what our journey looked like. How did we meet, and how did that play out?
Well, our journey got inspired a couple of months before I met you. I signed up for a real estate course, which very interestingly, had a spiritual twist to it. The week one was very, it made you go deep into yourself and recognize any maybe blockages you have as far as relationships go, and even the flow of money. So with that said, that started my journey, and it really opened up a can of worms of emotions and whatnot. And then I got inspired to read the book through that journey. You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero.
Love
And
that book. One of my favorites.
yeah, one of my favorites. Yes, it absolutely has been one of the most life changing. It came at the perfect time for me. It was God's way of saying, okay, you want to be on track. These are the tools you need. So in her book, she strongly suggested that you hire a life coach. And that immediately resonated with me. And we had a conversation last week. I had to joke. I said, and it's true, you beat out Tony Robbins. I interviewed a few other life coaching folks, and yeah, you beat them out. Within 36 hours, I went online and found you on Bark. And but once we met, you just reached out to me so quickly and just was so endearing that I thought, oh my gosh, I have to work with Laura. and it
Oh,
was the best. It was spirit guided, and it was meant to be.
I totally agree. I'll never forget the first time we met. We had a discovery session. It was a little later at night. I was finishing up, I think, with a client or two, and we met. And I think we talked for like 2 hours. We got into it. I don't do that. I mean, I don't. I usually hold the boundary, but we
Mhm.
just had such great, inspired conversation. I knew it was meant to be
Yeah,
that we met, and then we proceeded forward. We started working together, and I think we've been working together for the better part of a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years now. So
yeah,
lots of stuff, lots of things have happened. So let's talk about our amazing book. We have this book called Up Until Now, which is 3 magic words, and it's
yes,
all about people facing their fear and transforming it into a life that they would love living by faith. And you have done that. I don't know that I know of any other person that takes massive empowered action, boom, 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 like in serving people and attracting circumstances and conditions into your life that you look at as content and curriculum to evolve and become a new version of yourself. So exciting. So with that said, you have a couple of stories in the book. If
hmm
you don't mind, pick one to talk about and tell the readers, because they're both so good. They're so good. But I have a favorite one. But I would love for you to share a little bit about one of the stories. I'll let you pick the one, and kind of what was going on for you. Why did you share this story? And then who are you hoping that this story is going to resonate and serve, encourage, and inspire?
gotcha. Well, I'm going to switch gears. I was going to talk about my first story in the nick of time, but I want to talk about a reunion of friendship, which, yeah, which
I was
was
there
inspired
for
through all my work, because in reality, we can sit here and talk about what this dream builder course did for me, from understanding what my dreams are, what it is that I want, and bridging that gap. Well, it happened. I did that. And then what I learned in writing the second story is that you can take those skills, those tools that you've learned, and those masteries of life, and you can implement that into other people's lives and be of assistance and of service and to help them.
right.
So both of my stories talk of money. Money is very important. A lot of people have hangups, and I had to face those myself and fix those. And then I was able to use that energy to help someone else who really, really needed those skills to help them and assist them. And all of this in my stories, I'll tell you, it's a story of healing, forgiveness, reconciliation, and most of all, giving. And it's not just giving of money. It wasn't that. It's giving of yourself. Giving actions, advice, your expertise, just giving, listening, and just being there and being of service. And one thing I've learned through this journey is that being of service is one of the most powerful
Mhm.
things
A
out there.
thousand, 1,000%. And you're talking so much truth here. I just want to reiterate what you're saying and what I hear, because it's so powerful. And I want to really get this sunken in, because such a great interview. But I know the story. I can't wait for y'all to read the story. I was there for the story as it played out right there. And
Mm-hmm.
literally, what you're talking about, money is never spent. Money is always an investment. And then as we give, we receive. It's the law of circulation, and this is why tithing is important, and this is why giving back and the energy signature of money is important. It's literally investing, and you invested heavily, and you created and received supply for someone who was in great need, in a way that allowed him to recognize the freedom, because all money is a symbol of freedom, to be, do, have, and give everything you feel you're supposed to be, do, have, and give in this journey. And you manifested that
Yes.
for this. It goes into the story. I don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so good,
Yeah.
but so good.
Yeah. Manifesting, that's another thing that might be a new term for some people. Actually, it's gaining a lot of popularity just because I think that's the energy that the world we're in this world, learning to evolve. And manifesting is just basically knowing what you want and seeing it with your mind's eye and focusing on it and creating it.
Well,
You know,
let's be clear. You and I are on the same page here. You and I talk about Jesus and God, and we identify. So you grew up in a
mhm,
Christian household, as did I, and
yes,
we are not talking about anything that's contradictory. We're
no,
talking about Jesus was the amazing transformational specialist in his
yes,
healing and manifesting fish and loaves of bread to feed people. And so these are just terms to
hmm
describe the miracles that happen. And we have the ability to have a vision that God's given us for our life and let Him work in us and as us. And the Bible talks about that. So,
absolutely. What is the scripture where Jesus says we are what we think? There's you're really great at those scriptures.
well, so Matthew 18:18 says, whatever's bound on earth is bound in heaven. Whatever's loosed on earth is loosed in heaven. So that's kind of like if we have a vision for it, it's in our heart because it's been planted there.
Hmm.
And then if we hold on to it, then it manifests here in the physical realm. The other one I think that you're talking about is Proverbs 23:7, and it's the King James Version. As a man thinketh, so
Yes,
he is. And I think that's the
yes.
one you're talking about.
There you go.
So, okay, let's talk about the book. So your story's amazing. Actually, they're both amazing. I don't want to shortchange Todd here. Cannot wait for y'all to get your hands on the book. You're going to need a box of Kleenex when you get it. Then you're going to cry. I cried reading it, both of them. And
Me
then
too.
also, I know. And then the book is launching November 5th in the Dallas Fort Worth area. We're going to have a book signing here at the local Barnes and Noble. About 37 of the 42 co-authors that have been clients of mine, family members are coming in and we're going to be signing. So, Todd, what are you looking forward to most about this book launching and the book signing weekend we've got planned?
I just got goosebumps.
I love
Having
it.
fun, I really did, just all over. I mean, this beautiful, amazing weekend that you have designed for us, going to Billy Bob's and bull riding and all these, whatever it is, we're all going to do. Great food and drink. I
Texas
cannot.
fun.
Texas fun. I bet you all have fun just as good as us folks in Kentucky. All
Yes.
right. And even though I'm in Tucson, Arizona right now. But anyway, just meeting everyone physically, being able to give Laura Walker a hug,
Yes.
Matt, everybody, it's
Lauren, all
yeah,
your people in your
yeah,
group.
exactly. It's just to being able. My whole business that I've done, my real estate business, all these people I've made all this money with, I've never even met them in person. Some of them I've never even seen them on a video. It's just on the phone. So a lot of my work is virtual, and we get to see each other virtually. But it's going to be just amazing to see everyone in person and hugs and just be in everybody's energy and space right there together
There's
and
nothing like
celebrating.
yes, there's nothing like being with a like-minded group of people. And boy,
Yes.
the energy is going to be palatable because we're all doing our work, we're all in our practices, practicing forgiveness and
Mhm.
all the things that we do, and it's going to be an amazing time. So, as we close this amazing interview, I'm so grateful for your time today and for your inspiration and words of wisdom that you have given to the viewer. Leave us with some closing thoughts for anyone who may be hurting out there, dealing with anxiety or struggles or feeling like they don't have enough money or they can't overcome. What are some things you would love to tell that viewer right now to inspire, encourage them, and just support them in their journey?
You know, I know it's very personal for all of us, and I do believe that all of us, there's a time of awakening for everyone. So I've actually consulted with people that are hurting right now, and I don't judge. I just offer what I know and what my experience is, and if they're ready to move forward, do it. But the truth is, we all create our own reality, whether you understand it or not, whether you're doing it consciously or unconsciously. So I just ask that through my story, and then as I continue to meet people and deal with family and friends that might be hurting and suffering. I mean, I still have my days, but I have skills now where I keep it under control and I understand it better. And so that's what I tell people, I tell folks now, you may be having an off day, but that doesn't mean you're off course. Okay.
Mm,
You might be having an off day, but it doesn't mean you're off course. And so With that said, just listen to that quietness. Take some time to meditate. It's a practice. Just take the time, and it takes time. Look in the mirror and do positive affirmations. They may not feel right at first, but look in the mirror and tell yourself you love yourself every day. That is so important. Not only are we supposed to love others, we need to love ourselves and accept ourselves and forgive ourselves.
And love
And so,
ourselves the way God loves us. See ourselves the way
exactly.
God created us, and to
Yes.
the greatness He created us into. And we have to remind our human.
Yes, we are all extension of our creator. And so
Absolutely.
we all go through our suffering. We live in a polarized world. It's meant. We came here to experience our sufferings. But when you're done with it and you're ready to move on, you do have the strength inside to think and believe and push yourself to where you need to be. You have to have tenacity, and you just have to believe that there is something greater for you if that's what you want.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I love it. Those are amazing parting words. Todd, you're just so inspirational. I'm the blessed one to have had you in my life. I'm so grateful to have you. And I feel like the journey is just really getting rolling. I don't ever see you not being in my life in some
So,
capacity. So
no,
thank you for
yeah,
sharing your time with us today. And
thank you.
viewers, we are so glad that you're here. We cannot wait for our book launch. Our book, up until now, launches November 5th. 2022, and we are so excited to get it in your hands. Todd, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your time, and
Thank
your
you.
positive energy with everybody.
Yes, thank you so much, Laura.
You bet. Have a great day, everyone.